Hi, my name is Jo Hadley. This is my podcast, Being the Human Lighthouse. I'm a somatic therapist. I was a physiotherapist for over 30 years, but now I call myself a somatic therapist because I'm more interested in how mind, body, emotions, everything works together, not just one particular injury. During my years as a physio, I noticed with my clients and with myself in my own life just how recurrent injuries, persistent pain, a lot of things that kept coming back were not resolving at the usual time frames, often had an underlying emotional component or a faulty belief system, or something else blocking the healing. So I've been looking into alternate ways of accessing whole health via looking at how to address all these unprocessed emotions. And there are a lot of somatic therapies that are sort of linked to this, looking at unprocessed traumas, patterns, emotions. So I've been incorporating a lot of these techniques and methods for whole health into my own work. And somatic means body. So I'm looking at how these unprocessed emotions, faulty beliefs, are manifesting in the body. And how I address this is often about calming the nervous system down. It often looks at breath work. That's one aspect of doing this. It's not the only way. Anything that slows us down and calms our system down. So there's numerous techniques for that. We need to be able to be calm and to sit still and be present. So being present is a very important factor. Learning to slow ourselves down and being more present and still are very key factors, as well as any other way that regulates the nervous system, whether it's through low, slow breathing, doing an activity or a visualization that you enjoy, like visualizing an activity that you enjoy is almost as good as doing it. These can change the biochemical processes in the body that helps calm us down. And the calmer our nervous system is, the more we access the healing state of our body. The immune system, the innate immune system, it knows how to heal us. And when it gets delayed or stuck, it's about finding what is it that's delaying or sticking this process. It's very often unprocessed emotions. As humans, we all have them. It's, unless you've reached Jesus Christ status or Buddha status, we all have things that we haven't processed. It's just part of life. It can be as simple as being two and your parents knocked your ice cream out of your hand and laughed. And from a 2-year-old's mind, you've perceived it as, oh, everyone hates me. And so you can look at life through that lens of the 2-year-old. Most of us have things that we're looking through the lenses of at some point in our childhood. It doesn't always have to be massive traumas. They're the really obvious ones. But they're just the extreme end of the continuum. Even little things, things that happen in day-to-day life that don't go your way can sometimes, depending on how we respond to it, can create an issue that troubles us later. I often notice that when people are releasing, and when I'm releasing, because I do all this work myself, when releasing unprocessed emotions, it's not pleasant because everything the body remembers. And of course, the pleasant stuff is okay. Anyone can do that. But the unpleasant stuff can be really, as it goes out, it comes, as it goes in, and as it goes out, it's unpleasant. So we often have to sit in this calm, present state and witness these emotions. That's how we heal them. Of course, sometimes it can be overwhelming. You can have to do it 10 seconds at a time. Sometimes you might be so overwhelmed you need a trauma therapist or a professional like myself that sits with people and helps them transmute these pains. It gets unpleasant. It reminds me of a bit like anyone giving up any addiction, whether it's tobacco or alcohol or drugs or TV. Giving up those things and not giving in to the impulse often creates a lot of withdrawal symptoms. And so it is in a similar way when we are sitting with these emotions, because it's unpleasant, just like that, because exactly when you're giving up the addictive substance, that's when all the stuff that's been covered up by the addiction starts to get uncovered. And this is part of accessing the root cause. Where did all these problems and faulty beliefs, trauma patterns begin? The poor programming begin, and where is it stored in the body? Often it's a clue to where it's stored is where we're getting our chronic illness or symptoms. But it actually doesn't really matter if you're just dealing with processing these emotions. Of course, if you want to deal with the body directly, like I used to, with a lot of fascia work or soft tissue work, that would help. But what I'm realizing and what I'm interested in now is how to do this work without actually having to massage or do any work physically on the body. It doesn't mean that it's not important and you don't need to do it. I just am working myself in a hands-off capacity, looking at the power of our consciousness, our own inner wisdom and inner attention, and just learning and cultivating the power of that. We all can do it because we all have the same inner wisdom, same ability to heal. I mean, everyone has that ability to heal fractures or cuts. If they don't heal, then the medical system will, it's not common and very unusual, but there's often a block. So that's often a sign that there's unresolved emotions or some issue there. I said we all have them to some degree. And these faulty emotions change our perceptions and make life seen through these filters. And of course, the more we release, the clearer our lens, the clearer our filter gets. And each of us have blind spots where the filter might be clean in one area of our life, but a bit smudgy and dirty in another. I, like everyone else, have the same issues. I am releasing and I've done a lot of releasing work, but there are aspects and places in my life where I notice that still a lot of smudgy stuff to get rid of. But this stuff, this whole releasing is not just to get to a destination. It's almost like it's a lifetime journey for all of us, because we're always evolving and always moving into a different version of ourselves, and hopefully a better, healthier, happier version of ourselves. I think unless we reach the Buddha status, we're always going to be doing this evolving, folding. It's usually to get somewhere better. Even life's challenges and unpleasant circumstances, often once we get to the other side, we can often see that there's been a gift or a lesson in there that's been beneficial. Sometimes that gift or beneficial aspect can be extremely hard to find. But life is often pushing us and expanding us to grow, expand, and to forever clean these lenses of perception. And it's interesting, the clearer the lens, the quicker we can change things in our life, the more peaceful, to better balance our body. It doesn't mean we don't have issues. It doesn't mean things don't still arise. But we get better at dealing with them and being with them. And that's definitely a bonus. So I find with people, working with emotions is something a lot of people want to run away from. Of course, you can only do it when you're ready. But the missing link in health, and one of the missing links in health, I never say there's never any absolutes. Because you need exercise, you need good nutrition, you need healthy thought patterns, you need a really healthy environment. But if you've got a lot of unprocessed emotions and a lot of faulty belief systems, that can be inhibiting and blocking your health by keeping your nervous system dysregulated, stress state. Because in that state, your immune system and digestive system come in. So, if you're brave and ever want to start to look at some of the unpleasant sensations or energies trapped in the body, if you're in Australia, you can always work with me. Have a online somatic therapy business. Or you can do this yourself. Sometimes if things are really, really tricky or you've had huge traumas, you may need the assistance of someone professional. But just a really early, easy step to do is my process, meditative process that I do at the end of the process. What it's designed to do is to access the healing state of our nervous system, the innate system, to calm the nervous system down. So we access the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest and healing phase. In the middle part of it, I just introduce how the unpleasant sensations can be sat with in a safe way. By doing it in this meditation and being guided, it's always easier and feels safer for people if it gets overwhelming. Of course, you can always open your eyes and stop at any time. Then you just focus on your feet on the floor or whatever it is you can see or hear in the environment. And the third part is just another part of healing is accessing what it would be like if we were achieving what it is we're really after. What would life feel like if I was living the life of my dreams? What was coming from my heart? Get a few different things, all in one short technique. It's like a little taster. So I invite you to sit or lie down, not to walk or do any activities, because it's meant to be done with presence and mindfulness. And doing other activities can be dangerous, and it's a waste of time. So I just encourage you to get comfortable in your chair, or if you're lying down, get comfortable lying down. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and just start to breathe a little bit lower and slower. And just notice your feet on the floor. Feel how they're just pushing into the floor. And imagine you've got roots growing to the center of the earth, really giving a strong foundation to the physical plane. Then just notice how your body's supported by the chair or bed that you're on. Feel how your physical body is supported. And imagine that you've got a cord, like an electrical cord, coming from the crown of your head, extending right out to the center of the universe. And just plug yourself into the center of the universe. So above, you're connected to the universe and all that is, and your feet are connected to the floor and the ground, physical material, earth plane. And just pay attention now to all the space around you. It appears empty, but it's far from empty. All the space around you that's not part of the physical world is part of the universe, the quantum world. Infinite information and wisdom is contained in all this empty space around us. And as we breathe in and breathe out, we're bringing in all this wisdom and information from the universe. And as we breathe out, we're letting go of anything we no longer need. But then the universe can recycle it for us. So I invite you just to breathe in low and slow, imagining every breath is filling up every cell of your body with infinite wisdom and all the information you need for a happy, healthy life. Now I just want to ask you to focus your attention on any unpleasant sensations you may feel in your body. I ask you not to judge them, just be curious about them and just sit there noticing them, knowing that you're safe sitting or lying where you are. And all you're doing is observing unpleasant sensations. It's how the body talks to us. We're not trying to change these sensations. We're merely witnessing and observing, allowing them to be there. Just be curious of them. What do they need to tell you? What do they need? You may get an answer, you may not. Sometimes the sensations move. Sometimes it gets worse. Sometimes they dissolve. Anything's allowed, and they're just sensations. We're actually witnessing the unprocessed emotions that are trapped in the body. As you witness them, you're letting them leave. If anything gets too intense, you have the choice either to do some low, slow breaths in towards that sensation. It can help it move and shift. Or you can open your eyes and just come back to the room and just ground your feet on the floor. If anything is painful or intense, try just doing some low, slow breaths into that sensation and see what happens. You always have the choice to stop. Now we move on to the third stage of this process. Focus your attention on your heart center. And when you do your low, slow breathing, imagine you're breathing out, in and out through your heart center. Heart is more than just an organ for pumping blood. It also has the biggest bioelectric field in the body. Heart rate variability and this electromagnetic field from the heart determines how we think. It determines what every other cell in the body is doing. It's very powerful. And as you're focusing on the center of your chest, as you breathe in and out, you're improving your heart rate variability and calming the nervous system, and allowing your mind to leave the stress state and access more of its intuitive wisdom. And as you breathe in and out through the heart, you're getting access more directly to your own inner wisdom. So I want you now, as you're focusing on your heart center, to feel there any sensations that occur when you imagine what would life be like if you could live according to your heart. If you could live a life from your heart's desire, what would it feel like? You don't have to know exactly what it would look like on the outside, but how would it feel like if you achieved it? Would you feel more open, more expansive? Would you feel more joy? Maybe you feel more inner peace. Maybe there's more gratitude, more compassion, more forgiveness. Just invite you to notice what sensations would be coming from your heart area if you lived the life you dream. You may have work that just lights you up and inspires you. It is of great service. You may just be living in a place that's peaceful, connected to nature. You may have wonderful relationships and connections with others. Whatever it is that lights you up, just feel how great it would feel. What does that feel like in your body? Because if you're searching for this, you've got to know and recognize it if it actually turns up in the outer world. So imagine what it would feel like to live the life of the dream. As we come to the close of this meditative process today, I just invite you to just remove some fate. You can open your eyes and just reorientate yourself to the room and just notice, is there any changes in how you're feeling? Do you feel lighter? Did you get any intuitive insights? If you do, I'd be happy to read them in the chat. And for another week, I wish you a great week and a happy, healthy life. Take care.